And welcome back. It's darker than it was when I left because I ran back and sold some stuff. Now let's go inside the house. A man appeared in the doorway, his raven hair dusted with gray and lines around his eyes hard. He looked on them with gravity, the weight of his stare deep and penetrating. "This is the house of Madame Haphra," he rasped. "Futures speaking with the dead, rumors. We will require of payment of 50 gold. Do you wish a session with Madame?" "Sure, why not?" James produced the requested amount and handed it over, following the tall man. Just before pushing aside a curtain, he halted and whispered to them. "Do not question some of the things my wife may say or do," he said. "We have recently lost a daughter, and it has shaken Haphra's belief in some of her abilities. Please, if she asks for acceptance, no matter what she may have said, please treat her kindly." Without another word, he shoved aside the curtain and allowed them into a rear room where Madame Haphra waited. Seated at a table, she wore a woven brocade vest over a lightly dyed peasant's blouse, and her hands and neck were ornamented with bright wooden beads. "Please have a seat," she muttered, waving a brightly nailed hand at the rude chairs across from her. As she spoke, her eyelids fluttered, as if she was speaking through an alcoholic haze. "I may provide 3 services for you. We may speak of local rumors, I may tell the future, or I may speak of the dead. Which would you have of me? Let's learn about the future." "Very well," Haphra said with a weak smile, her posture relaxing visibly as she leaned back into the overstuffed cushions of her sitting chair. "We shall tell your future." Regarding Owen, the look on her face slowly changed, turning into a mask of pain and regret. "You will die a slow and painful death, alone and in starvation," she said somberly. "Those upon whom you thought you could count will abandon you in your hour of need, and in death they will believe you a disgrace to your station." Folding her hands in her lap, she looked on them serenely, her face beginning to resume the look of her age. "This is the fate I see for you," she said, the slight tremolo in her voice betraying a hint of nervousness. "The fates have spoken through me." "I don't think so. That's crazy." James snorted his contempt for the old woman's prediction. "I could have said any of the same things. I've heard virtually all of these things from street lunatics." "Haphra!" Bella shouted, but was shoved aside like a mere twig as the old woman lunged to her feet, her eyes blazing fury. Raking James's face with her sharpened nails, she howled in a voice that no longer sounded human. "I am Haphra! You will believe! You will believe!" Weeping openly, Bella moved behind his distraught wife, but rather than trying to console her, he lifted his a stick of firewood and struck her to the floor. Standing over her unconscious form, he seemed poised to strike again. "What?" Confused, James flashed a horrified stare at Bella, but suddenly drew back in shock as another form began to materialize around Haphra's crumpled body, taking on the shape of a young girl. For a moment it hovered, its expression glowering as it stared at Bella. Then, with a hateful screech, it flashed through the air to pass through the walls of the house. "Go after it!" Bella sobbed, dropping to the ground to cradle his wife. "Go and kill it. We are finished with the Rusalki now. Go!" And I accidentally clicked out of that before I could finish reading it. Oh, 1 little Rusalki, that's simple. Of course, it's so far away, I should have freaking pulled it closer. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do. It's been a while since I used that spell. Where is it? Invitation. Get over here. Get over here! I don't feel like chasing her around everywhere. Why is James's health so low? I thought I healed up before I did this. I guess not. Oh, well, let's heal up real quick now. That's good enough. Now, where am I? All the way back here. I want to be back here. I want to go back in this house. Bella said nothing as he let them inside. Next to the door, Haphra was sitting up, her frail fingers clutched in her hair, and a distant look on her face. As she regarded them, she looked more relieved than pained for her injury. "She is dead?" "Yes," James replied. "Dead, or at least we may assume so. What exactly did we witness here?" "A foolish old woman who didn't wish to let her daughter go," she said, her voice trembling. Grabbing hold of Bella's hand for support, she continued on bravely. "After our daughter died, I sought to find her with my talents. I thought if I could seize onto her, we could keep her with us." "But that's not what you found," James replied. Haphra shook her head. "No, it wasn't. Instead, I found the spirit of the Rusalki, who promised that she would bring our daughter to us if we would allow her to live through me, to inhabit this body. For a while we believed her, but after several weeks we knew we had been trapped by the creature." Feeling awkward in the woman's presence, James touched the woman's shoulder lightly. "I am very sorry." "Don't be," she said. "You have freed us from a curse, and now we can begin to rebuild our lives without my daughter. For this I shall grant you a true prophecy, or at least one as true as I am capable." Looking deep into James's eyes, Haphra spoke slowly. "There is one you seek who hides in many guises. He will trick you and guide attention away from himself, but he is marked by his smell. He shall be the one who holds the key to an important mystery." "What is his name?" James asked, intrigued by the answer. "I do not know," the woman replied in shame, looking out to the floor. "In truth, my powers are quite limited. I have told you all that I can truly see." "Enough," said Bella. "It's time you had some rest, Haphra." Understanding that the man wished for them to leave, James nodded thankfully to the fortune-teller and her husband. "Good luck on your new life together," he said, closing the door behind them. "I think you deserve it." Alright. Now, let's hurry. We should have plenty of time to get down to Sildon and see what the reward is, if there's any reward at all. Yes. James shouted at the ship. Appearing at the railing of the ship, we talked about this already. I thought it might be different, but it isn't. Let's go into talk. I have been expecting you for many days. My auguries have shown strangers that walk in the favor of Aortis. I assume that you must have completed your rites? It had very little to do with ritual, High Priestess, and much more to do with slaying spirits. You sound somewhat distressed. Be assured that you have slain no one, but have freed those from this world which were unnaturally bound here. The swimmer of the deeps is pleased and has allowed I may grant you a boon, so long as you all shall live. Any of you that come and petition before me shall be healed of anything that ails you. Such is the nature of Aortis' favor. Have any of you the need of healing? Sure. I think some of my injuries may be beyond my ability to heal. What do we need to do? You will find that your ills already healed as we speak. You shall feel fully restored by the time the Mist Devil returns you to Silden. So the reward for killing all them spirits is simply to get free healing, but there's no real easy way to get here. Because that temple doesn't, you can't teleport to that temple. Whatever. Maybe I got some defense or attack by killing all them spirits. That would be more than worth it. And let's get back up to Haphra's house. Alright, here we go. Let's save here. And when we come back, we'll go see what those pirates, or whatever they were, are trying to guard.